Good afternoon. What's going on, everybody? So we're back in P3D version 4, as if there's any other current version available. But anyway, I've had this airplane for quite some time. I think I've only flown it once, so I was like, you know what? Rather than sweat myself to death mowing the lawn, let's just take a quick trip to Lufkin and not be miserable. So that's what we're going to do today. A2A simulations, Beechcraft, VTail Bonanza in all of her glory. So I'm going to get everything fired up. It is about 4,000 degrees today, so we're going to try to be expeditious and get this show on the road. So, like I said, Lufkin, Texas, to be the destination. Oh, let's see. Old handy checklist. We've already done the exterior pre-flight, so we're just gonna go ahead and mosey on down to the engine starting checklist and see how this works out for us. Hopefully it does. Alright, so mixture. Bring this guy on up to full. There. Prop full. Throttle full. Battery and alternator switches on. Check gear lights and make sure they are indeed green. Aux pump on, and before we do that, I did just, let's see here. Alright, let's go ahead and bring up the fuel just a hair on that side. Here we go. Alright, so aux pump on until fuel flow goes into the green, then off. So we'll bring this guy up a little bit, bring off. Alright, throttle cracked. Bring this out, bring in about a quarter. Should be good. And we'll go ahead and announce clear prop. And we'll go ahead and alright. Oil pressure, let's double check and make sure. Oil pressure's in the green. Looks like we are indeed charging. Ammeter looks good. And mixture, lean that out. Just a hair. And avionics on. I believe they want it to idle around 1,000 RPM. Bring this guy up a little bit. Bam. Alright. Okay.
TOS system test okay.
So fairly straightforward on the flight plan. Not going to do anything super fancy, so we'll just throw, what was that, Kilo Lima Foxtrot Kilo, I think, yeah. In there, just 118 miles. up. Reaching that up just a little bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we missing? What are we missing? It's kind of hard to tell sitting from where we're sitting. I believe yeah, we should be on both. I was like, I wonder if we're just on one magneto. Whoops. Alright, so I believe crisis has been averted. Where is that? Alright, so we're pulling off the left tank right now, which that's cool. We'll just have to double check that periodically. And I think we'll be just fine. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Alright. Let's see here. And they do, yeah. Oh, cold engine. This engine is, of course, by no stretch of imagination cold. Yes, I know the cabin's hot. Yeah. Pretty warm. Alright, so everything lined out there. Let's see. Alright, so that's good, and let's go through the checklist. Cowl flaps open. Which they are. Cool. Alright. See if we can try not to hit the building. I think the wind is going to be favoring probably 17. Try to angle. Idler down there, see what she does. Yeah. Alright, bring it back up a little bit. Alright, so taxi checklist. Since they're so short, we'll go ahead and run through that real quick. Radio's on, transponder. Should be set to alt. Altimeter set to 904. Heading indicator. That. Radio ATIS. Parking brake. Yeah, we did that. Brakes. We did test initial ground roll. Alright, run up. Checklist. Brakes hold. Fuel quantity. Looks good both sides. Mixture is. We'll go ahead and enrichen it. Then we'll get everything set up here on a run up. So we'll bring the throttle up to 1700. Right there. Alrighty, oil pressure looks good. In the green, oil temp looks good. Let's see, jump over here. Vacuum looks pretty good. Cylinder temp still in the green. Ammeter, of course, we're charging. Magnetos. We'll look for a max drop of 150, so we'll go down to the right magneto. Looks good. Back to both. Down to the left magneto. Whoa. Whoa. Did you guys notice something a little weird there? So let's go ahead and bring it down. Really want to see this here. LF magneto. Yeah. And then go to the right one. All seems to be normal there. So, in reality, well, actually we'll do this real quick. Prop cycle. Want to do it one, 2, 3 times, just kind of. Get the oil moving there. All right, throttle idle. Throttle back to about 1000 RPM. So yeah, without lift magneto acting up, normally what you want to do, you just want to go ahead and turn around and get that checked out with the FBO wherever you're at. But we're gonna live life on the edge a little bit here. Alright, for takeoff checklist. Flight controls. Free and correct. Fuel selectors, desired tank, we're in the left tank. Fuel pump. We'll turn this guy on. Props full in, mixture rich. Engine gauges, check. Everything's in the green. Trim tab. Trim tab is a little small, and actually I'm going to adjust my elevation a little bit, my seat height a little bit. I want to bring this guy, try to get to neutral there. Yeah, right there. Cool. Alright. Let's see. Flaps set. We'll do flaps up takeoff today. Cowl flaps open. Doors and windows secure. Go. Before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, go ahead and turn on the strobe light. The landing light. Alright, we'll go ahead and receive. Of course, we'll make a call. Terrible traffic. Beechcraft, whatever. Get your finals clear and your runways clear. Let's see here. Get lined up here a little better than that. Close this guy here. All right. And we're looking for about 77 knots. All right, here's 77. All right, gear up. It's going to get a climb checklist out of the way. Fuel pump at 1,000 feet. We'll go ahead and call that. Go ahead and call that 1,000 there. Off. Let's see. Fuel pressure check. Alright, let's see. We'll pitch for best rate, about 96 knots. And we'll go ahead and check. Go ahead and adjust our mixture here a little bit. I'm laying that out some more. There we go. So it is quite warm out today, so you want to definitely keep an eye on your oil temp and your cylinder temp. So far, it looks pretty decent. And we'll go ahead and bring our. We'll set 5,500 for a good cruise altitude. Shoot for best rate. Check, we're almost at 5,500, so far it looks pretty good. Got the airplane trimmed out for the most part, basically flying hands off right now. One thing I do I will say is you definitely want to keep an eye on those rudder inputs on takeoff for sure. It's been, like I said, it's been since this thing's been released, since I've flown it. Those big engine airplanes, you definitely want to be on top of them there. 5,500. And this is a fairly clean airplane. So one thing they do recommend, I was going through the manual again, is that managing your airspeed is of the utmost importance, being that the I'm not gonna say flawed safety record of the VTEL or Bonanza lineup in general, and it's kind of sad to see, because it's not so much the airplane's fault. Just kind of like the Mitsubishi MU2, they got a bad track record. You know, had a lot of issues in the past with poor training, things like that. So we as pilots tend to put ourselves in unfavorable situations in really high performance airplanes, and sometimes, you know, cause some problems. But you know, for the most part, you know, it seems like, you know, once the training program's improved, you know, we don't hear, you know, as many problems in these airplanes than we did in the past. And I'm kicking a little rudder here. I find myself adjusting the roll a lot, but there we go. Flight dynamics on this thing is just amazing. And I say that not because I have time in this airplane at all, but based on what the book says and what you're actually doing in the airplane, it's lines up exactly. For example, at cruise, if we pitch down just a little bit, that speed starts to creep up. And if you're not careful, and once you start hitting that yellow arc, even the slightest bit of positive G's, you put it on the airframe, and then now you're in a pickle. So energy management is paramount. But I think we're fine. May try to actually lean this thing out a little bit. But very solid in the air. It's a really nice flying airplane. And I'm making no inputs in the rudder. The rudder and the ailerons are linked on this aircraft, so you make a slight turn, for the most part, you're going to stay in the birdcage or doghouse or whatever you want to call it. I've heard of both, but it really doesn't require a whole lot of rudder input there. Just a little bit elevator, and here, stand to right turn quite nicely. I think we're passing Gun Barrel City on our right hand side, and Cedar Creek Reservoir. Let's see if we can get it kind of. I'm sure a lot of you asking is like, why isn't he in the? But since I do play with mostly tube liners, on the sim, but I really haven't. Other than the MD-80, of course. I mean, you kind of never really get tired of that one, but just really haven't found anything as of yet for P3D. Really, I don't know. That really, I guess, piques my interest. Bring that RPM back a little bit. Let's see, I'll bring it back about 2,500 there. See if I can get the line up. Alright. And come back in with a little power. Let's see. Now the autopilot does function, so not that it doesn't work, it's just the thing flies so well until I really don't want to turn it on, but maybe we'll go ahead and turn it on for right now and see what she does. Alright, she's tracking it quite nicely. She's heading back to our proposed route, hopefully. Or not, looks like she's making a 180. Let's see, what are you doing? Let's go here in flight plan. Activate leg. And see what she does there. And then bring the prop RPM back to about 2,500. See what that gives us. There we go. I see it's starting us back out at KTRL. No biggie. What we'll do, we'll go ahead and put her in heading mode, and we'll just fly in heading mode. We'll just fly her in heading mode there. Now, I've had airplanes I've flown or rented in the past, but that's really all you had. So it's like, oh, okay, cool, you know. Which, I mean, heading mode in general aviation airplane to me, I mean, it's not saying that it doesn't help to have the ability to slave it to, you know, your source of navigation, whether it be VOR or GPS, but just to, especially on those long cross countries, just the ability not to have to hold the yoke constantly, or even kind of, you know, even kind of hover over it constantly is pretty nice. So, excuse me, not a huge ordeal. And let's see here. So, cowl flaps. I almost don't want to close the cowl flaps because even now we're at 5,500 feet and still pretty warm, but we'll go ahead and close and see what that does to our performance. Power set, RPM 21 to 2,500. We're right around 2,500, so it's not too bad there. Mixture set fuel flows. Right now we're burning about 14 gallons an hour. We could probably lean it out a little more if you really wanted to stretch it out. If you really want to stretch it out, you can out to Lena Peak and really good, you know, really decent fuel economy out of it. Right now everything looks to be pretty normal there as far as the engine is concerned. Well, the temperature still looks good, cylinder head temp looks good. That's one thing to kind of keep in mind, especially when you're trying to squeeze every bit of fuel economy out of it as you lean out to the airplane. You'll notice your cylinder head temps come up a little bit as well. So just something to kind of keep in mind as you're, what's that? This is fine right here. And your gauges do malfunction on this airplane, so you can kind of tap them, which fortunately I haven't had the opportunity or the pleasure to fly anything that old. I'll take that back. Yeah, I've been in some fairly old airplanes, but not. We'll go ahead and swap tanks. Oh, so there we go. Whew. That could have been bad. But yeah, I haven't. Most of old, I say old, but aged aircraft I've been in have had some sort of avionics update, so you're not in anything really decrepit. If that makes sense. See what that does here. It's brought the prop RPM down a little bit, and the fuel economy, like I said, still looks pretty good. But just a very, very well done model. I mean, not a whole lot of bad to say about it, and quite honestly, I don't really know why I don't fly it as much as I do. But just a solid flying airplane. Just gonna make a bit of a course correction there, kind of keep ourselves on track. So right now our ground speed, we're about 151 knots, which is not bad, not bad at all. And the behavior of the gauges, to me, is really what kind of just adds that level of immersion, because you do get the vibrations, you do get the behavior, you know, the gauges aren't just fixed, if that makes sense. Now the panel oscillations, like the vibrations of the panel, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a situation where they're extremely loose or what, but I know like Piper, the Piper line, especially the Cessna lineup, they seem to be fairly solid. So I haven't had, not sure if you guys seen any videos of the A2A, a lot of A2A aircraft when you bring the RPMs down very low, and you get that oscillation and movement in the panel. I mean, you do get some movement in the panel, but not that much. But, you know, I guess it depends on how the panel's put together. So we're getting fairly close. What are you doing? Let's see here. Famous Guy weather update. Yeah. got weather update. So yeah, got our speed creeping up just a little bit. So we want to stay on top of that. Spins in this airplane. This is probably not the airplane I would want to, practice stalls in. Being that, you get this thing in a spin, and not saying that it's impossible to get out of, but it does take a little more work than most other general aviation aircraft we find ourselves in. Most of them, really, you could just about let go of the controls. Of course, you want to follow the spin recovery procedures, but most of them you could just pretty much let go of the controls, and the airplane will eventually line itself out, given it has enough altitude to do so. But as far as the process of getting a VTOL out of a spin, is fairly standard across the board. Full elevator, full nose down elevator, rudder opposite of the spin, of course, power, bring up power and idle, and that's pretty much it. But still, I just don't know how I would feel getting this thing in the spin. Let's see, we can actually probably, you know what, let's try it. So, we're going to disengage autopilot, and a little power here. We'll climb to about 8,000. Around about 8,000 there. And we'll see if we can get this thing out of a spin before we overstress the airframe. 6,000 right there. Put this old girl in a spin and see if she'll hold up. I'm thinking we'll be fine, but I don't know the tolerances. I've never tried to put this thing in a spin. But yeah, we'll come to about 8,000. Alrighty. Richen it up just a little bit. But all those spins are prohibited. There could be that off chance something may happen or whatever. You get uncoordinated, you're really slow, and spin. So actually, I may come on up. I think we'll be fine here. Alright, so if I can get into the spin, we'll see. Alright, so we'll go ahead and bring the power down to idle. Alright, and we're just going to maintain this attitude. Trying to keep it coordinated there. Keeping that ball in the center. Alright, yep, she's starting to brake right there. Feel the brake. Uncoordinated. Alright, so. Alright, she's in the spin. Alright, so opposite of the spin. Oh, I don't think we'll make it. right.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sync rate.
All right. See. All right. We'll bring the full power back in there. Yeah, when she went, she definitely went. That's for sure. And quite honestly, I really didn't bring in a whole lot of pitch on the elevator, a whole lot of downward pitch on the elevator for to come out of the spin. I just gave a little opposite rudder, came out of the spin. Now we did go borderline inverted. I was like, wait a minute, it's a little bit too much on the pitch there, but I don't know how accurate that is because we did almost peg the airspeed indicator, but we survived. And we got out of it by around what, 4,500 feet. And those of you who haven't had the opportunity to experience an actual spin in an airplane, if you go to Discovery Fright and you get a good CFI, ask them, hey, mind if we practice a spin? I mean, most of them probably won't do it, but you'll run into that guy, or they may be sure. I mean, it is something, I think every pilot at some point should go through, should experience. I mean, you could be an IMC and it happens, and I mean, at that point, you really don't have a whole lot of visual references, and you kind of just have to react. If that makes sense. So we'll get her line down here about 5,500, and continue our venture to Lefkin. I'm really surprised we didn't break anything. My realism settings are turned off. I mean, are turned up, so I don't think it's that. So I'm not exactly sure what it was. But very, very wobbly. You can tell the of course one of the wings seemed to have stalled first, and she rolled in that wing, and that was the end of that. So it's definitely not an airplane you want to get in the habit of getting too slow in, that's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw her back in heading mode. Altitude, heading on there. And we'll go up to about about 22% manifold pressure. As you guys saw, at speed, it comes up really quick. Really quick. Yeah, we're about 60 miles from Lifkin, not far at all. Like we're about 12 gallons an hour. Not running a whole lot there. I think if the noise is a little cabin is warm and steady, I bet. What's the temperature? 70 degrees. Yeah, I think you can open firewall. No, firewall, air. Let's see. Cabin heat. We want none of that. Absolutely none of it. Yeah, warm and steady. It's about right. Let's see here. And they do really do a really good job of, it's like a little knee board here rather than pulling out a paper checklist or what have you. You just pull this guy out here. Endurance 4 hours, range about 700 miles. Fuel economy about 14 miles to the gallon, which is quite honestly better than some trucks. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can put headphones on. Kind of quiets down the noise a little bit. What's that? Oh, it's on emergency altitude. Oh, cool. I was hoping maybe they had some built-in views there where you can, I guess you can kind of adjust the seat all the way back a little bit. We can kind of come up forward a little bit. Passenger view. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's maybe the 836 where you can get the kind of like a club style trim as well. I'm not sure. I may have gotten that confused with another one, I imagine. Can't adjust the air vents. And at night, which I have tried these guys out, and they do help a lot. You can, it's a little map light. You can adjust it there. It works out pretty good, actually. Especially at night. I mean, the panel itself, the panel lighting itself, does you know, this does its job as far as illumination, but a little map light comes in super handy. And if you guys do happen to purchase it and tried it out, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Now this thing does have tip tanks. Of course, they're not full at the moment, but you do have the capability of transferring fuel from the tip tanks to the main tanks. But we don't have to worry about worry about that right now. Especially anything under like, I don't know, heck, 500 miles. Probably won't have to worry about. Circuit breakers do work. Let's see, you can probably, horrible idea, but you can probably, let's see, I don't know if I can pull it out. I know they do pop, but you may not be able to pull them out. Yeah, you can't pull them out. And about 45 miles to your destination. Yeah, not far at all. And we'll just zoom in here in Lufkin. And depending on how the winds are, we may just take 1.5 in. Just a straight approach and take 1.5, and that'll be it. Which south of that is the Lufkin VOR. But the airplane does settle out nicely. There's a little map there. That does help if you're doing VOR work. That does come in handy. And like I said, we're at about 5,000 feet, and it's still pretty warm. So typical summer. Now there is a model of Beechcraft. I don't know. Oh man, I can't think of which one it was, but that does have air conditioning. I think it may be the Bonanza, the A36 that may have it, if I'm not mistaken. So like hot weather like this, that'd be amazing. Or you can get one of those little portable coolers with the blower fan over it. I've heard they work pretty good as well. I'm really surprised that we're not having more issues with the oil temp than anything else. which I've noticed that on a lot of aircraft that have their own persistent maintenance system in there. Some of the parameters to me seem a little overly done. Not A2As in particular. There's another company, I can't think of the name of them, but they do have where you can have failures and things like that. And I mean, during the summertime, I mean, you do have to be a little more diligent as far as managing, especially on the temperatures. But sometimes they came up to be a little oversensitive, so I don't know. I mean, of course, it's pretty difficult to try to bring all that into a simulator for $60, but to me, that seems a little more accurate. I figured. There's another little nuance as well for the Beechcraft lineup. Some of them you'll have where they don't have a yoke for the right seat. But what you have to do, you actually have to swing this whole arm to the left or right seat depending on who's flying. Which to me, that would be way cumbersome for me at least. But let's see, it looks like we're what, 35 miles out. Crack the window. It does get quite windy. See if the temperature changes inside. So nice, but cooling rapidly, nice and steady. That seemed to help a little bit. Let's see if we can close it. Nice and warming rapidly. Pull that, it's off. I mean, 70 degrees isn't terrible. It'll be fine. I actually want to see if we can get this guy to track the flight plan. Let's see if we can do this here. Just one more time. Hold that waypoint. Or here's what we can do. We can probably do this here. Remove. Oops. Go here. Procedures. I don't know, I'm just gonna throw in some random approach. What was that, 1.5? Let's see. No. Nope, don't want to do a course reversal. Don't want to do LFK either. Let's see, Rafto. Don't want to do that one. We'll try this one. Load and activate. All right, now put in nav. Let's see what she does as far as tracking it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it wants to do everything except that, so we'll just leave it on. We'll just leave it on heading mode. And it may be me. I mean, it will be on GPS, but whatever. Yeah, let's see. There we go. It's kind of refreshing to not to be 37,000 feet or whatever, and it's going from point A to point B. Now, that may change when the Airplane Heaven / Fuel Air Embraer 170 comes out, which I've read that should be fairly soon, actually. I think it's in beta. I hope it's not too soon to where they just rush it out, but hopefully it'll be soon. Because Phil there's never had an issue with avionics. Even their ERJ lineup, was, I mean, it's from a, as far as a function, wait a minute, what in the world is going on here? Got a vacuum. I think we just lost our... Good to see someone. Oh yeah, definitely gotta add a little variety there. I'm fairly close to this airport actually, so I'm just happy to see. I think Orbix may have added a little touch of scenery to it, so that is refreshing as well. But thank you, sir, for the comment. Definitely appreciate it. I think we just lost our attitude indicator. Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, it's a nice airport out by there. Oh, cool. Yeah, probably, yeah, I'm just up there around, kind of in between Forney, Terrell. So, but yeah, it's just an awesome airport. It's not as close enough to Dallas to where if you want some Class B action, you can get it. But it's far enough to where, it's like as soon as you take off, you're in the Bravo. So, it's for me, it's a good balance, real good balance. About 15 miles east. Oh, cool. Heck yeah, good to run into a neighbor. Alright, we'll go ahead and disengage this autopilot there. Yeah, looks like we lost our attitude indicator. We'll go ahead and bring this down to... Bring the power down a little bit there, and the nose comes right on down. As for me. Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, definitely good to run into a neighbor. Terrell is a good, awesome airport. Spent some time up around McKinney as well. TKI. TKI gets real busy at times. Addison gets super busy. It's almost like a little mini Class B airport. So much traffic there. Alright, run quick. Check my serial. On. Cool. Yeah, this thing is just amazing. I mean, about decent 1,000 foot per minute descent. Now, what we can do, we can pull power a little bit and let that nose come on down. And you can just about fly this thing just by power settings alone. That's our gear warning there. The traffic. Oh yeah, it's insane. It's a good airport to get some get some practice in. You know, dealing with that amount of air traffic. But if you're just leisurely, you know, going up and trying to get some air work done, it can be a little frustrating. In fact, I've noticed a lot of students come down here to Terrell and they'll do their touch and goes and everything down here, and then they'll head back up north. I think that's our runway of choice. We're right on at 12 o'clock. Cool. Let's see. Down. Let's see if we can pull up. Thing service. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Kind of roll through this real quick. All right, cool. Add a little power there. Mike's flying service. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, great bunch of guys down there. So, fuel levels checked, cowl flaps closed, mixture, we'll bring that to fuel rich here a little later. Let's see if we can get slowed down a little bit. We'll bring up that nose, bleed off some airspeed. Down. Gear down, and we got 3 green on the panel and good on the mirror. It does help to have that track IR. I really need to activate mine. Let's see, let's turn off this bike director there. Kicking a little power there, about 80 knots. Alright. And mixture full there. But yeah, this probably by far one of the nicer airplanes for P3D. And bring that prop RPM to full. And we're a little high, that's okay. Flaps full.
$500.
Let's see here. I start working out that power just a little bit. As I say, definitely don't want to get slow in this thing. A little touchy on the pitch. Very touchy on the pitch. Very touchy on the pitch. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened? No. No. No, I have no idea what just happened. No idea what just happened. I don't think we're that slow. We're around 80 knots. No idea what just happened on that one. Not sure if it was my controls or what. That's awesome. Let this guy reload. It's probably gonna load me in Eglin or something. Find that to be quite interesting there. And absolutely no roll authority, no pitch authority or anything. Yeah, been loaded me at Eglin. So just out of curiosity, we're going to fast forward ourselves to Lufkin. KLFK. And I think 1.5 was the runway. Active runway. Which that's a little different from what our GPS gave us. We'll just do 2.6. Well, yep. Yep. Yeah, that was really odd. I don't think that was a stall, but I had absolutely no control. Because got that initial pitch up, and like I said, we were still around 80 knots, and over she went. Absolutely, bud. Yeah, man, it's good. Good speaking with you. Discord number. Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely give you ads, man. You have yourself a good one. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if we can recreate what just happened here. Yes, I know. All right, so we'll do a little abbreviated run. Well, that would explain it. Yeah, like my yoke does not work now. uh, yeah, let's see. Alright, let's go ahead. I think we can put the parking brake on real quick. Alright, let's see if we can give this thing a quick. Quick reset. Is this thing smoking? Oh my gosh. Awesome. That is awesome. Let's see here. May have to make a visit on over here to the maintenance hangar. Go ahead and run that inspection real quick. Keep an eye on the battery time. We have some oil leaks. Don't push her too hard. Cylinders are wearing out. Be careful. Flap some parts. Well, you know what? How about we just go ahead and repair all that? Great shape. Awesome. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so...
System test okay.
Alright, cool. Let's actually get the yoke on here so we can kind of see what's going on. I think I have my suspicions as to what happened. Alright, so got mixture full forward, prop full, throttle full. Let's see, batteries on, alternators on, aux pump on into the green and then off, on, green, off. Alright, go ahead and crack the throttle about 1/4 of an inch. And let's go ahead and start this thing. Let's see. Just a little bit. And we'll try that again. Let's do one more time. I don't want to flood the engine. Let's see. All right. All right. So what we'll do here, we'll go ahead and lean it all the way out. Give the star a little bit to cool. Doing that. We got fuel there. Fuel selector switch is on. Alright, so we'll bring the mixture back in and crack the throttle a little bit, and we'll try it again. Nothing. Bring this out here. Turn that battery off for a moment. A lot of times, let's see here. Go back over. Very low voltage, here we go. Compare that. Ready? Go ahead and try that again real quick. I'm not going to bother with the fuel pump. I think we're more than primed at the moment. Alright, so we'll go ahead and bring the throttle in a little bit. Let's see here. Turn this off for a minute. Turn it off for a second and see what she does. Yeah, I've been having that issue lately. We had I think we were doing a trip with MD-80, and all of a sudden I lost all control inputs and the thing pitched up and rolled and crashed. So not super surprised, but I think it is time. It's time for another yoke. Let's see. Give it a few minutes. Or a few seconds, I think it should be ready now. We're on, alternator on. Don't think the engine is flooded. Alright, let's see here. I'll bring this in here a little bit. Mixture full. Alright, let's see. And since we're in the runway environment, we'll go ahead and turn on avionics and get all that going. Cowl flaps open. So we'll cycle the props. I'll go ahead and bring it up to about 1700 RPM. Cycle the props a little bit there. Now, since we've gone through the maintenance hangar, let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Back to both. That looks good. Back to both. Throttle idle. Alright, throttle back up to about 1000 RPM. Altitude reporting. There we go. Alright, being on. Cool. Alright, yeah, we'll do a few touch and goes and see exactly what went on there. Instruments, the limits, everything looks good. Alright. Bus rate, you're up. Just try this again because I'm a little curious there. Power back a little bit. Alright, you're down. And we'll bring her to about flaps 10. Nice 500 foot per minute descent. Come out just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and make that base leg. Good there. I'll throw in another notch of flaps. Just be forewarned. The way the flaps work on this airplane is as long as the button stays depressed, the flaps will come down. So just make sure you dial in what you want, then bring the flaps lever back to the neutral position. Alright, we'll go ahead and drop the rest there. Alright, looking pretty good. You do feel the weight of that bigger engine, so just keep that in mind. All right, looks pretty good. Hold it up. All right, flaps up. And there she goes. Ooh, there she goes. Holy smokes. You're up. And it's working this trim a little bit. probably make this one a full stop. Trim. Alright, gear down. Big green. Get the mirror. Flaps 10. Let's see here. Bring that flaps 20 in right there. Don't want to get uncoordinated. There we go. I don't know, for me it seems like you need quite a bit of trim there to compensate for. Heavier nose here. We can kind of just hold that. Woo! Woo! Definitely probably one of my more interesting landings. Whoa. Yeah, just did not think I was going to be able to salvage that one. Oh man. see if I can get this thing turned around. There we go. Definitely one of the more fun airplanes to fly, that's for sure. Gonna take quite a bit of practice to really get to really get proficient. It behaves differently. Even I mean, not only do you have the characteristics of a higher performance airplane, but you're also dealing with an aircraft where the flight controls just, as far as the handling, it feels different, very different. So definitely something to, if you do decide on purchasing this, don't get frustrated. It's just, this airplane just requires a lot of practice. And there are my controls again. So yeah, absolutely no input whatsoever. So yeah, looks like I have a project. Hey, how's it going? So my Thrustmaster seems to work just fine, but my side deck seems to have died. That is unfortunate. My well. Well, go ahead. Whoa! Don't do that. All right. So, hey, bud, how's it going? Do you ever get bored of flight sim? I don't know it. Not so much as getting bored. For me, at least. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this guy down here. Let's see. Reset. Go ahead and turn all this off. All right, and we'll talk for a moment. Ooh. All right. Not so much as getting tired of it. No, you do sometimes. I guess you you want a little more variety. So, I mean, you'll run into that a time or two, which is part of the reason why I went ahead and invested in both sims, both X-Plane and P3D. But I mean, you do, especially if you focus on or have emphasis on one particular type of airplane. Whether you fly the PMDG 737 a lot, or Real Skies, Diamond, or I'm sorry, not Real Sky, Vertex, Diamond, or any airplane that you fly a lot. Sometimes you get used to it, things become a little more predictable, and it can become more mundane, which I guess in the world of aviation, mundane is good. So yeah, I mean, things can become a little dry, which is when for me is when you get into airplanes like this, that provide more of a challenge. Um, you know, keeps I guess the excitement there. Um, which for me it's pretty nice. It kind of brings you back to those basic airmanship skills. Um, but Yeah, for the most part, yeah, you do get bored a time or two, but that's when kind of perhaps looking at putting yourself in different scenarios, different aircraft, things like that, and to kind of to keep things going. But yeah, other than that, I mean, just gotta keep the variety, you know. But but yeah, so unfortunately, it looks like I'll be making my way to the store. I say unfortunately, it's been kind of something I've been needing to do for quite some time. But to grab another set of controls, so awesome. But anywho, guys, I'm gonna go flight control shopping, and we'll see you guys later.